Hello and thank you for watching. I'm Ashley Van Dyke with Advantage Software, and on today's video, Mix It Up with Eclipse Audosync, I'm going to show you how you can use multiple devices to create a single high-quality recording that contains all of the audio you need. Setting up mix channels in Eclipse is simple. The first step to do so is to go to your user settings. You can go to Production User Settings or press Alt-U or click on the icon at the top of your toolbar. Once you're in your user settings, go to the Real-Time tab. And in the Real-Time tab, there's an audio recording button. Clicking the audio recording button brings up the Wave Audio Recording Settings window. Since I want to set up a mix channel using multiple microphones, I want to first identify and locate all of my microphones. I'm going to press Levels and go to the Recording tab, and you'll see that I have 3 microphones available. Right now, the microphone at the bottom is the one that is hearing me the loudest. However, all of the microphones can currently hear me. They're all in the room with me, and they'll all be picking me up. However, the other microphones are further away from me and set up to hear other people. So what I want to do is identify these microphones so that I know which one is which in Eclipse. This one I know is closest to me. I'm going to right-click on it and go to Properties. And you'll see that in the General tab here, one of the first things that you see is the name of the microphone. This one is simply called Microphone, but since this one is closest to myself as the court reporter and the judge, I'm going to go ahead and call it Bench to indicate that this is the microphone near the judge's bench. I'll hit Apply and OK. And now you see that this microphone is listed as Bench in my Windows settings. The next microphone that I want to identify is the one on the prosecution table. I'm going to go ahead and tap on that microphone and see if I can see which green bars bounce to identify it. So I'm tapping on that microphone, and you can see that as I tap on it, it's bouncing. So what I can do is right-click on this microphone, go to Properties, and I'll change this microphone to Pros, meaning that it's at the prosecution table. I'll hit Apply, and before I go out of here, I just want to go to Levels and make sure that this mic gets turned up. A lot of times USB mics will be turned down when you first plug them in. I haven't used this one for a while, so I'll go ahead and turn this up to a setting that I know works good. For me, 80% on this microphone works great. I'll press OK. And now that I've turned that microphone up, you can see that even though it is still farther away from me, it is a little bit more responsive. So now I have my bench mic named, my prosecution table mic named, and so I can make sure that this last microphone is the microphone on the defense table. I'll tap on that microphone, and I see that I have responsiveness there. I'll right-click and go to Properties. And now that I'm in the Properties window for that microphone, I'm going to go ahead and name this one DEF for Defense. And this one is picking up just fine. So I'm going to go ahead and leave the levels as they are and hit Apply and then OK. And now I see that I have all 3 microphones, Bench, Pros, and Def, and I'll be able to use these names to easily identify these devices for my channels in Eclipse. So I'm going to press OK out of the Windows settings and return into Eclipse. When you're using a mix channel, the idea is that you'll have additional channels, and the loudest data that those microphones record is what will be mixed into the mix channel. So if I add 3 additional channels, in addition to my default mix channel, that means that it will mix the loudest audio from each of those 3 microphones into the mix channel. In Eclipse, the mix channel should always be channel 0. So before I add any other channels, I'm going to get my mix channel set up. So I have channel 0 selected, and where it says Input, I'm going to change that to Mix. Now I'm setting this up for a Connection Magic team editing job. What this will allow me to do is have multiple microphones and channels going to get the best possible audio, but it'll mix all of that sound into a single wave file that my Scopus will receive through Connection Magic. This means that they'll get all of the best audio from each of the microphones in a single file that can be sent easily over Connection Magic. So since I am doing Connection Magic team editing, I'm going to hit Compression. I'll set my compression setting at GSM 6.10, and when I press OK, I'll choose 22.050 kilohertz, or 15 MB per hour. I'll press OK to save this, and now I have my mix channel set as channel 0. However, I want to mix in all 3 of my microphones, so I'm going to add 3 additional channels. The first channel, I'm going to go ahead and set as the audio for myself and the judge. So this will be set to the bench microphone. Right now, it's set to the default input device, which is what the mix channel should be set to. However, the other channels need to be set to the device that I want them to actually be listening to. So for channel 1, since I want this to record myself as the court reporter and the judge, I'm going to click the audio device dropdown and I'm going to choose bench. So now channel 1 says bench, and it tells me the proper Windows name of the USB device as well. And since this is not the mix channel, I want this set to input 1. But since I'm mixing, I want the compression setting to be exactly the same as the mix channel. So this should also be GSM 6.10, and if I click compression, 22.050 is what's selected. I'm going to set my next channel, which I want to be the prosecution table. So I'll select channel 2, and for the audio device, I'll select pros. And again, I can click compression and make sure that the compression settings are the same. My last channel will be for the defense table. So I will click channel 3, and then I'll click the audio device drop-down list, and I'll choose the defense microphone. So now I have 4 channels set up. The first channel is the mix channel, which is channel 0. This channel will contain all of the audio from all of the other 3 channels. The other 3 channels are each set up with a microphone from a different location in the room. Channel 1 is the bench mic, which will record the court reporter and the judge. Channel 2 is the prosecution table mic, which will record everyone at the prosecution table. And channel 3 is the defense table mic, which will record everyone at the defense table. Now that I have all 4 of these channels set up and the mix channel is appropriately set up as channel 0 with input mix, then I know that I can get going and start recording. When recording with multiple channels in Eclipse, there's no special setup required to get the recording to start. As with regular recording, if you select translate, when you have real time selected, as long as record audio is checked, all 4 channels will begin recording as soon as I begin real time. And so I can press OK to start real time. And I'm going to call this file mix test. I'll choose to start from the last stroke. And you'll see that at the bottom left of my screen, I have 4 audio bars indicating 4 channels that are being recorded. The first one represents channel 0. The second one represents channel 1. The third one represents channel 2. And the fourth one represents channel 3. So these are in the order that your channels are listed in your user settings. And you can see that that's correct because channel 1 is the bench microphone, which is closest to me as the court reporter, and you can see that that is the channel that is going wild when I speak. And as a result, when that channel bounces, the mix channel at the top bounces as well. If I tap on some of my other microphones, you see that the mix channel bounces as each of those bounce as well. What the mix channel is doing is mixing all the audio heard by the other 3 channels together. And since I set this up to do connection magic, I can go to Tools, Connection Magic, share a current document, and set up a job for my scopist, and they will automatically receive channel 0, which is mixing the sound from all of the other microphones. However, since I do have those 3 additional individual channels, I will have 3 individual recordings that I can refer to if I need them. To play back your audio when you're using a mix channel is typically the same as playing back your audio when you're not using a mix channel. If you go to Settings, Edit, Audio Playback, you see that at the top, channel 0 is selected, and that's what you want to set it to if you want to play the mix channel back. The mix channel will contain all of the audio from the other channels, and so usually when you're using the mix channel, this is the one you want to default to your playback. However, if you wanted to double check something in one of the individual recordings, for instance, if there was over talking or something like that, you can check channel 1 and hit play in your document to hear the audio just from channel 1. In a future video, we'll cover what the all and auto functions do when using multi-channel recording. However, when you're using a mixed channel, they may not be what you want to use. Generally speaking, you'll just want it set to channel 0 and to play back that channel, since it'll contain all of the audio from all of your other channels. Using the mixed channel system in Eclipse gives you a great way to take advantage of both team editing as well as multi-channel recording. This gives you fabulous audio that covers the entire room that you may have to work in. This audio goes over to your Scopist crystal clear and worry-free. If you work in a large room where a single audio device is not meeting your needs, you may want to consider additional audio devices with the incorporation of a mixed channel to solve that problem. If you have any questions or need help implementing a mix recording setup, please don't hesitate to call support. Advantage Software offers anytime support 24/7. Support can be reached anytime, including weekends and holidays, at 772-288-3266. Please call us if there's anything at all that we can help you with. Support is also available at support@eclipsecat.com. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you're enjoying our content, please subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications so that you'll be notified when we publish new videos. Thank you so much for watching and have a great day.